Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast. Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Steve and Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you'll be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Filmed live at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. And, of course, found wherever audio podcasts can be found. This Saturday is, of course, All Elite Wrestling's All Out. We will be broadcasting our live reactions on the YouTube. And then for the live recap of the show, we'll be doing that on the Twitch right after. So join us on YouTube for that. And then everybody head on over to the Twitch for the other thing. Should be a lot of fun. So, of course, tonight was the go-home show, as we call it in the industry, Larson. Us industry insiders, this go-home episode of AEW. What a weird episode this was.
You don't have to mince words. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very good.
Listen, you know my philosophy. Boring. The only time I consider any wrestling as being bad is when it's boring. When it's just a cluster like tonight. Tonight was just a weird episode. I was still entertained. It was just a really weird episode.
It was like the most WWE feeling episode of Dynamite I think we've seen yet. Especially the angle at the end. I mean, we knew it was coming, the match with Mox and the lawyer. I think we all knew how it was going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of hoping that maybe they'd find some something to do with it to kind of turn the convention on its head, to bring us something different.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. It was goofy. It was Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose made a 1 week appearance in AEW because he was just kind of reveling in the goofiness of it. So
the conventions of go-home shows were, yes, completely and totally on. I mean, you would think that after what happened tonight, Big Swole's probably going to win in the kickoff show against Britt Baker.
Why is that in the kickoff show?
Okay, so to play devil's advocate, I would think it might have to do with protecting Britt physically, and that's because didn't Swole say this match is going to happen at her place?
Yeah, they said it's going to be at her office.
So
yeah,
a tooth and nail match. Yeah. I would think maybe if they wanted to keep the main show all live stuff, this is just going to be like a really silly gimmick thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it'd be cool to be able to break up the show with a silly gimmick thing, but that's all I can really think about. This has been a pretty decent build, given that Britt Baker's been in a wheelchair the whole time. If the math holds up on this go-home stuff, Swole is totally going to win here. She really, storyline-wise, she totally should.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can debate on if Britt Baker should be losing big matches right now, given how great her character work is. But maybe they just have so much faith that, hey, she can lose a match and she'll be fine. We're trying to make another star out of Big Swole for our women's division.
Especially, yeah, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I was surprised by that. And why is Brody Lee in an 8-man tag match? Why is he not defending the TNT Championship?
That is a question I don't have any devil's advocate playing for there, Larson. I don't know.
It's like there's a huge moment. He got a lot of momentum, and they put him in the 8-man tag match rather than having him defend against any of the 4 people he's facing in this 8-man tag.
Here's the thing, dude. Listen, here's the deal. AEW has packed their roster. You got 20 guys that are all like half. I'm literally trying to think right now about people in that 20-man match singles guys who couldn't possibly be main eventers. Pentagon's in that.
Phoenix, yeah.
Hager's been a main eventer. I think he's in it. Phoenix could totally main event. He's main evented in AAA before, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Darby Allin, I know he's young, but Ricky Starks, he's totally going to be. That dude's going to main event WrestleMania 10 years from now. I will guarantee it. That dude is going to be huge.
Yeah, really
Brian
good.
Cage, Archer, those are all guys who legitimately could main event in AEW. They totally could. And they have them stuck in the Battle Royal match. They have too many people They have a wealth of talent. I mean, SCU is not even going to be on the card at All Out. So, I mean, that's probably going to be why. I see what you're saying. I totally see what you're saying. But I also get that if anything justifies an 8-man match, it's the one massive faction in AEW, and that's Dark Order. So,
but then have Uno and Grayson and 5 and 6 take on Sky and Rhodes and QT and yeah, and have Brody Lee in his own match.
I mean, he has a title. The title should be, well, at the same time, the title's not, it's a TNT title.
Yeah, but hasn't Cody didn't Cody defend it at that's what they debuted it on a pay-per-view. Like, they unveiled the belt. Tyson brought it out at the last pay-per-view.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was that pay-per-view?
Wasn't it
they had Revolution, that was before pandemic, and then they had Fighter Fest, which is like the fake pay-per-view.
that was on TV. Was that where it was? I thought it was on pay-per-view.
Well, the other one isn't they didn't do a fight for the Double or Nothing.
The fight
Double or Nothing.
Yeah, it was Double or Nothing. Yeah.
Double or Nothing.
That was on pay-per-view.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't tell you. I'm okay with it. I don't know. I'd rather see Brody Lee yelling at people backstage beyond being the Elite anyways. With all the Chili's, millions of Chili's money.
Yeah. I mean, they could easily do Brody Lee versus Dustin.
That's a good point. That's a good point also. No one
could easily do that.
Flats3 says no one's beating Brody Lee right now. Wouldn't even remotely believe it. Okay with them not even bothering. I kind of get that.
Well, I mean, no, you have Brody Lee run through a bunch of people.
They just have a lot going on.
I understand that.
They have a lot going on.
I understand that. That's why they have the Battle Royal on the card.
Yeah, it's packed, and that 8-man. You got 4 dudes who aren't even that Battle Royal who all should have a spot at All Out, except for maybe QT Marshall. I kind of get it.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, it's not. They're not doing a very good job capitalizing on the momentum that Brody Lee got for himself winning that belt. That's my point.
Let's just hop right into this, and we'll see where we go. Let's see here.
Show kicked off with Santana Ortiz versus Best Friends. Best Friends jump Santana Ortiz during their entrance, get laid out, and then Trent jumps off the stage, hits crossbody on Santana Ortiz. This is basically an official hardcore match between entrances when the bell for the match actually rang. There was all sorts of craziness. Chuck was ringside playing Lincoln Logs with some chairs, stacking them up, making a house of cards, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, when you do something like that, you're the one that goes through it because Santana tossed him off the stage onto those chairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trent and Santana get in the ring. This is like 5 minutes into the show. Bell rings, the match finally starts.
Yeah, it took forever and a day. And even then, like, the match itself was only like 8 minutes because, like, by the time the bell rang, I remember it finished around 5:15 Pacific time. It was like 5:07 when the match actually started. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened beforehand. Dude, my biggest problem with this match, number one, it was really short. Number two, people were no-selling crap at it. Like, this was one of those things where it was just like spot, quick setup. It was like a AAA match. Let's just set up for the next spot. Because, like, what I saw Trent was on, like, the apron, and he got thrown onto the steel steps. He took, like, a back bump onto the steel steps from the apron, which was nasty. Moments later, he was given a dude buster to Ortiz.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny.
That was. I noticed that too. I was like, well, you should probably sell that a little bit more there, Trent.
Yeah.
Anyways, XLX got the win. They should have, and they did, hitting Street Sweeper. So that's good. XLAX finally get a win. It required using a telescoping baton to get the win.
Yeah. I mean, look, this was a little bit more violent. This is what you were looking. I actually thought this match probably should have been an All Out, but apparently they're going to be in the 20-man Battle Royal if that scrum was to be believed.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah. After that, we had MJF cutting another promo about All Out. Lee Johnson interrupts, and he's like, hey, lawyer Mark Sterling has locked himself in the room. He doesn't want to fight Mox. And he's like, oh, my goodness. So he gets Wardlow to kick the door down and bring him out because he's in there saying, hey, I think I found a clause on page 17 that will let me, like, not do this match. Anyways, Wardlow gets him, and MJF gets him in his face, and he says, listen, either you get in the ring or you get in the goddamn wood chipper.
Yeah, that was extreme.
Which is pretty extreme. That's like Fargo territory right there, man.
That is Fargo territory.
This is 2 times in 2 weeks that a wood chipper has been mentioned on AEW. Didn't Jake mention one last week?
Yeah, MJF is trying really hard this particular episode to make himself seem like he's a legit threat in terms of the level of violence against Mox. However, Go Home Show math dictates that he has no chance in hell.
This is gonna be clean.
Winning it all out.
Be clean as a dream, man. It's gonna be a standard Mox match, paradigm shift, and he's done.
Well, the paradigm shift is banned. It's banned.
Oh, yeah. It'll be.
So he's gonna choke him out or win with Gotch pile driver. As soon as the bell rings, match over. He's gonna drop with the paradigm shift. He'll get it in.
Yeah, that's what people pay for. After that, we had SCU and Private Party versus the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. Whoever wins this match goes on to have their own tag match at All Out, which I thought was kind of a silly stipulation because it's like completely unmotivated beyond, I'm assuming they want so the Young Bucks are going to be acting like dicks now.
They're super aggressive. That's what Excalibur said.
They're focused and aggressive, and they're just kind of dicks. There's that guy in the crowd with the Hangman, drink my beer sign, which Hangman doesn't do anymore. This guy was totally a plant. And Matt goes up one point, rips the sign, pours the beer on him. So yeah, and then obviously, they weren't too friendly to at one point, I think it was Nick accidentally super kicked Jungle Boy. Mark Quinn hits a shooting star press on Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus breaks up the pin. Matt kept on tagging himself in. They do a BTE trigger to, I think, Mark Quinn, and then Matt got the pin there. But then afterwards, they didn't even celebrate with
left
Jurassic Express. I mean, they're going to be fighting him at All Out. So, I mean, should they be super friendly to them? Maybe not. But I don't know. It's like the Young Bucks. Okay, they got screwed out of their match by Hangman. Now they're going to be bad guys, I guess.
They got a chip on their shoulder now.
They got a chip on their shoulder. They want to get back in the tag title picture.
So next, Jake Hager, he had his own camera crew for the night. Only utilized it for this one segment. So he busts into Orange Cassidy's locker room. It's pretty nice. He's got a nice locker room. Anyways, Hager tells Orange that Jericho wants him ringside for his match against Joey Janela tonight. And Orange Cassidy doesn't say a word. He just lifts his leg up and puts it across Hager's lap. Jake knocks it off, and Hager tells him it'd be smart for you to be there, and then gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything else, doesn't go into anybody else's locker room to interview them, to give them orders while he's got this camera crew with him.
Well, there was really nobody else he had. Maybe he was doing interviews for like their .com or their
Why didn't
YouTube
he do
channel.
like bust into conversations with other people who were in this battle royal? That's something he's directly involved in.
There you go. I like that. That's good. I don't know. Maybe he did, and they'll put it up later. I don't know.
We'll see. Maybe this is be the Friday night edition of Dark they're having. Is helmed by Jake Hager.
Yeah, there you go. I got a question for you. Tully is with FTR. He's hyping them up, and then they cut a professional wrestling promo for All Out. You believe this? Dax claims that it's going to be a 7-figure payday for them. Do they not know that's not really how it works anymore? Like,
yeah, it's not like whether there's a winner's bonus.
This isn't the territory days where you get
at
a
least
cut of the
not
gate.
To that degree. Yeah, or like a UFC fight where you get knockout of the night or match of the night or something like that.
Right. Like all this.
If there is some sort of bonus, it's definitely not in the 7-figure territory.
It's like, hey, bro, you're not making 7 figures. You wear the same shirt, the same outfit every single week. You're not making 7 figures. You both show up in the same old truck. Nobody's making 7 figures.
Yeah, so at the end, Dax is like, hey, as much as we like you, Paige, we like the prestige. I like how they were calling the belts the prestige. I like that. The title's a little bit more. And then Tully, for the second week in a row, adds this at the end. Fear of the revelation. Now, I don't remember Dax or Cash using that as what FTR meant. So there is going to be some sort of revelation taking place at All Out that Kenny and Paige must fear, as in New Horsemen, something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it a retribution restoration type thing? I thought, didn't Dax say revelation this time? Or was it Tully?
Oh, it was Tully.
It was Tully at the end. Okay. God, I thought I heard Dax say it also. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that I'll be honest with you. Like, I would be kind of surprised if they were thinking about it that much. I don't know. Given how haphazard tonight's show was, I don't know how much
It's just
actual
for like the second week in a row,
happens.
Tully has said that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know that like FTR has said, this can mean whatever we want it to mean in the moment. Mm-hmm. So like that's why they can do that. Yeah, maybe there'll be a thing. I don't know. But what Tully also showed, okay. I don't know.
After that, we had
It ain't gonna be with Hangman, that's for sure.
No, it doesn't seem like it. Kenny had an interview in the ring with Tony. Seemed like he just got up from a nap. So he's asked about Paige not being by his side.
He said Tony looked like he just got up.
No, Kenny.
Okay.
Kenny looks sleepy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
he didn't really perk up until the chalk got involved.
I honestly, like, I tweeted this out. I think I put on my notes too. I perk up when the chalk comes out. It honestly just felt like Tony Khan wasn't around. It felt like he was like, "Hey, Elite, can you guys just take care of this?" And maybe they're so used to him being like the guiding hand. Which, by the way, anybody ever says, "Oh, fans shouldn't be booking wrestling shows," enough of that business. Because Tony Khan is like #1 wrestling fan, and this guy's like apparently a booking genius. I still maintain he wasn't there tonight, and he left everybody else up to it. Because
you guys have been doing great, and hey, you're all executive vice presidents. I got something else to do. You guys got this.
Wait, is this true? The big guy says Tony Khan is in the UK. Is that actually true? I'm gonna check his Twitter account. I'm gonna do some research.
All right, I'll go through this Kenny interview. So Tony is like, "Hey, Paige isn't by your side. A week ago, he caused the Young Bucks to lose, and they kicked him out of the Elite." And Kenny says, "Well, everybody makes mistakes. Paige will have to live with that for the rest of his life. He was fooled by FTR, but one thing won't change: they will win, and he hopes FTR brings their A game because he and Paige will bring theirs." And then FTR and Tully walk down with the cooler. Dax says he and Adam have had Kenny and Adam had a great run. FTR says, "We have no problem with you, Kenny." And at All Out, we're looking to have a great match, a good professional wrestling match. And to do that, and to that, he says, "Let's cheers." And so Cash hands to Kenny a pint bottle of chocolate milk. And Dax says, "Hey, we brought you your favorite, the chalk. Can't pass up the chalk." And Kenny says, "I've known you for 3 months, and I can't pass up the chalk, but I can pass up spending more time with a couple of." I know he said dickheads. I don't know what else he said. They bleeped it out.
I thought I heard somebody say he said dickhead bitches. Which is pretty harsh.
He said, "If you come out here to beat me up, let's just get it over with. I might lose the fight. Maybe I'll get a couple shots in. But hey, tell that old man over there to stay out of it because I can smell his depends from here." Point to Tully.
I was messing up.
So Paige ambles out. Tully lowers the second rope to get him in the ring. Dax wants Paige to tell Kenny who told him to turn on the Young Bucks. Says, "Come on, go ahead, tell him who it was, because it wasn't us, it was you." He says, Dax says, "I've known Paige his entire career, always known that he's an insecure little boy.
Yeah.
And we got in your head so easily because of your ego." And he says, "Tell Kenny how big a piece of shit you are." And Paige starts going after him, and Kenny's holding him back and saying, "Hey, they're just trying to get in your head again. They're just trying to get in your head. Don't let them." And so while he's trying to break up the fight, FTR picks up the tag titles. Paige walks up to him and says, give me our belts back. Give me the belts." They just drop them on the mat. He picks them both up, hands one back to Kenny, who doesn't take it because he's down on the floor. And actually a good shot where the camera pans around Paige, so he's in the foreground. You see Kenny in the background, to stand there, not really knowing what to make of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the best part of the whole show.
O-Dog said it was dickhead hillbillies.
Oh.
That sounds like it's probably more right. It rolls off the tongue a bit better.
Well, like in terms of the syllables that I recall, that seems more.
Same, yeah, the censoring was kind of wonky in this. It can't be easy being because I think it's like a 7-second delay. Do they have to then time? Oh, I heard a bad word. 1, 2, 3, and then do it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
That must be hard. Anyways, I don't know, man. There's a bunch on Tony Khan's Twitter account 3 days ago about Fulham FC, because I think they own that.
Yeah.
But then lately, I can't tell what his location is. I don't know. Unknown.
Does he have an Instagram? Look on his Instagram.
I'll do that. I think he does. He was posting pictures from like a barbecue at the beginning of the pandemic that everybody's like, oh, he probably shouldn't be doing that.
After that, we had Alex Marvez interviewing Chris Jericho. Jericho did not call him fathead this entire interview. Marvez,
wow. Hold on.
What?
Oh, yeah. 10 hours ago. Well, it's a picture of him and head coach of Fulham, Scott Parker. Yeah, there's a lot of...
So you might be onto something.
Yeah.
Boss was away.
Cody's off filming stuff. It was just like Kenny and the Bucks.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's doing that Stephen Amell show, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, nobody's in charge, dude.
Wow. So Marvez asked Jericho, hey, what can we expect this Mimosa Mayhem match at All Out? And Jericho says, hey, you remember, like, what was the last time you experienced something for the first time? You know, like first time you kissed someone. And he says, well, at All Out, that'll be that you'll experience Mimosa Mayhem. He said we're going to see who the better man is between Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Jericho says, I've already made Orange a better man. He's made Cassidy a main eventer. But that's why I need to send him back to where he came from, because he's not the level of Le Champion. So he's going to hit him with the Judas effect, make him tap the walls of Jericho, and then dump in 500 gallons of mimosa. And says, tonight, Joey Janela is a sacrifice. And he's going to do it in front of Orange Cassidy.
After that, we had, according to my notes, Jericho versus Hager, but I'm pretty sure this was Jericho versus Joey Janela. Did you happen to catch the little banter of just somebody posted this on the Twitters? I really wish we had access to the Fight TV version of AEW because it's got JR like talking, rambling during the commercial breaks.
Yeah,
and he was talking about. He's like, "Look at that Joey Janela. He should be a heel. This kid should be a heel. He can start with his hair. Look at his hair. He walks like a heel."
Did you see the one of Excalibur messing with Taz?
No.
So I think Matthew posted it because it had Botchamania font on it, so that's why I'm putting it together. So during commercial break of the Brawl, the all-out Brawl in the ring, where Austin and Billy Gunn were out there, and he's like, well, Austin Gunn got his start holding gum or something like that, and then he goes on for a bit about it, and Taz's like, wait, Austin? Holding gum? Gosh, it was like it's a reference to MJF or something, because I knew he held.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Excalibur says, he was holding gum and started a gum club.
That's pretty funny. Did Taz laugh?
Cut off before I got.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Taz seems like he might be a bit mirthless, so I don't
know. Some people here saying, hey, if you get a VPN, then you can get access to the Fight version. I might try that. What was the thing that we used to sponsor that was sponsored us? ExpressVPN? Maybe I'll try that. Anyways, Jericho won this match with Joey Janela. Cassidy did come out. He didn't he just sort of sat ringside with a backpack.
Yeah, a backpack, yeah.
Jericho. Did Jericho do the Judas effect in this? Because I turned away for a second and he won this match. What happened?
So he sends Joey out of the ring, and then Joey runs down the stage, kind of does like a 1-foot springboard off the second rope. Jericho hits him with a code breaker, and then follows that with the walls, and Joey taps.
Okay, that sounds right. Anyways, so afterwards, they both beat on Joey Janela. Then Orange Cassidy comes in. They beat up on him. Sonny Kiss comes down to help out. Eventually, Cassidy's just in there, and he takes some bubbly out of his backpack, and he pours it on the ground, or pours it on the mat, rather.
He does a Thunderdome double thumbs down.
Oh, and then this.
After that, a Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara recap, and then Sammy comes out to the stage. He's doing the sign thing during a picture-in-picture, and then Matt Hardy's standing on like this huge, I don't know what you call it. It's like one of the walls of the concourse.
So like they had in a white. I was like, oh, because they were like, oh look, Matt Hardy's on the top. I was like, on the top of
like,
what?
Where?
And I was like, on the top of the tunnel, because that's where everybody goes. And then they pull way back out, and he's like, so like Daly's place is like on a big, in sort of a big inset thing in the ground, and he's like on the top. Yeah,
there's these walls that you can kind of see. They come out kind of where the little pathways are from, I guess, the parking lot, or whatever, to where they have the ring set up. And he's on top of one of those. I don't know, it was a good 15, 20 feet up, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And so he's just staring at Sammy while he's doing the whole sign thing. He gets to the final sign. And so then he produces his own signs. And that was it. Yeah, I think the last one said broken.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Who? Matt Hardy had the signs?
Yeah, he had signs too.
Oh, okay. I just saw the one where Guevara said deleted, and then I guess I just drifted away again.
Hardy had a few, and then the last one said broken.
Jesus. Anyways, after that, we had, this was great. This was amazing. This was the bad wrestling that I love.
It was so bad.
Team Taz comes out, and dude, say what you will, Brian Cage looks like a damn action figure.
Yeah, man.
Like, especially with that FTW title, he looks like an action figure. Anyways, so Taz comes out. He starts rambling about how one of these two guys over here, the Machine Brian Cage or Ricky Starks, they're going to win the Battle Royal coming up. So one of these guys here. And then you're, hey, hold on. I see 3 squirrels in the ring trying to get nut, but nobody's going to bust a nut in the ring. Come all out. And I'm like,
won't get none.
Did he just say bust a nut on TNT?
He did.
So anyways, he's talking. Of course, these guys have no idea how to do like a proper improv back and forth. And so Jake is going on. Taz's like, wait, hold on. Don't talk. And he's like, no, you don't talk. And then Eddie Kingston comes out. And he's got like 18 guys with him because his crew is massive. I mean, all Jake has is Lance Archer. And then, the other guys got 2 guys. Eddie Kingston comes out with 4 guys, plus he can throw down.
Yeah.
And so he starts talking. It's actually pretty cool because Eddie Kingston, he knows how to talk. But the problem is everybody keeps on interrupting him. And it's like, just let him say what he's going to say because he probably is smart enough to have a punctuation at the end of whatever he's going to say. And then, to start getting into the brawl. And the brawl just starts happening all of a sudden. There were 2 guys with like dress shirts on that ran up in there. I was like, who the hell are those guys?
Yeah, I know. I had no idea who they were. And so the ring just starts filling up. Darby Allin comes down. He and Ricky Stark start brawling. And the ring just starts filling up. Billy Gunn just like, he looked like he woke up from a nap the way he was walking down that ring.
He's like, so big. He's so big that why do they not push him in the same league as like Archer, Cage?
It's because he's like 60 years old, man.
He's huge though. He looks better than all those guys except for maybe Cage. Like, I'm sorry, if you put Billy Gunn next to Lance Archer, have them take their shirts off, who's going to be more impressive? It's Billy Gunn.
Physically, yeah, but Lance Archer's way scarier.
Nah. Not tonight. He had that cheesy. He had like a cheesy bandana on.
It was the step for the whole thing didn't make anybody look.
He had the designer ripped jeans.
Yeah,
he looked. I told you, he looked like a gang member from like an episode of Hill Street Blues. He looks super cheesy, man.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah. So during all this, like Sean Spears and Tully just wander in the background a little bit. Eventually, Sean Spears does hit the ring. So does Hager. Santana and Ortiz, they're out too, but best friends are out as well. Mayhem breaks out, and it lasts all through a picture-in-picture and just keeps going afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that you can get from WWE at the very least. I mean, that's one thing that I kind of appreciate about WWE is that half the time, and there is a charm to it. There is. I don't get me wrong. I appreciate some element of it, but like half the time when dudes do like promos when they're like wearing civilian clothes, they're like wearing flip-flops. They look like they just got like they pulled up in their car, they showed up, and they just whatever they're wearing. Like
that's Billy Gunn. That was Billy Gunn tonight.
It was Kenny Omega tonight. I mean, he had a Hana shirt on, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. But like Hangman, at least Hangman produces himself up a little bit. He always has a really nice cowboy shirt on. He always is like in character. Even like Jericho always knows how to, like, pretty much the inner circle always. And I wonder if that's because of Jericho. Like, Jericho's there. Hey, you're going to be on camera. You have to present your character.
You got to look the part.
Like Ricky Starks looked like he was going to Disneyland today. He comes out
that fit. I feel like that fits his character though. That wasn't. I didn't have an issue.
Some
with that.
things fit, like when he does like the tight shirt with like the chain, like that sort of fits his character more than just, hey, I'm gonna go on a day trip to Disney World.
Yeah, that didn't bother me. What he had on today didn't bother me.
It doesn't really bother me. I just prefer. I like some like the production aspect that WWE will give sometimes. Like AEW, it's like sometimes a little too casual. Whatever.
All right. Anyways, after that, we had a pretty cool Dark Order, Dustin, Matt Cardona, QT Marshall, Scorpio Sky video package hyping up their match at All Out.
Yeah, it was a good video package.
It was really well done. After that, we had a pretty good match, actually a really good match between Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb.
Yeah, this was cool. This was neat. In fact, I thought the first half of this match was a really good showcase for Serena Deeb. I think, like, for the purpose of the match, maybe a little too much because she looked really good. And then toward, like, the last couple minutes of it, Thunder Rosa picked things up, hit a DVD, and then a Thunder Driver.
Yeah, that Death Valley Driver was nasty.
There needed to be a little bit more rotation on that head coming in. A little more tuck of the chin because that looked like she was almost got spilled on her head. Anyway, she hits her Thunder Driver, gets 3 for that one. No sign of Hikaru Shida, though. Been kind of cool to see that.
It would have been. It'd been cool to have some sort of stare down or confrontation of some sort.
I wonder if Serena's going to help out, given that she spent like three or more years in NXT as like one of the women's coaches. She was there for a while, actually, wasn't she? More than 3 years.
I think after she was in the Mae Young Classic, the second one, Serena Deeb. Well, she was in the second one, right, or the first one? She was in one of them. I think they hired her as a coach at the Performance Center, and then I think she was one of the releases in April.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's been just a couple of years, I guess, huh? I think I was thinking of Sarah Del Rey. Actually, she'd been there for a while. Time.
I think she might still be there.
I think she's still there. Yeah. After that, we had an interview with Big Swole, where she announced how this is all going to go down. It's going to be in the buy-in.
Oh, you missed the riveting Jon Moxley promo.
Well, the fact that it was so riveting is why I missed it, because it was sort of just a standard Mox promo. This is your big moment, kiddo.
Yeah,
either you're gonna perform or you're not.
Yeah.
See what you got, kid.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, Big Swole interview. She's got her shot against Britt at the buy-in. Says Britt has been dodging her for the longest time, but at the buy-in she'll have no place to hide because she's showing up at her job, and they're going to fight tooth and nail. And then Rebel, poorly disguised as a pizza delivery person, shows up and says, I have a pizza delivery for you, Tony. And he's all, I didn't order pizza. Britt attacks Swole from behind with a crutch, and then Britt shoves her face in pizza, puts Swole in the lockjaw, and then she says, Rebel, hand me some pizza. So Rebel gets a chunk of pizza, hands it to Britt. Britt rubs it in Swole's face.
Yeah. It was pretty ugly. Pizza looked hella good, though.
It did look good.
Then we had our main event, unless I missed something else, because I missed a lot tonight. Mox versus the lawyer, Mark Sterling. Sterling was dressed pretty funny. He had like layers and layers and layers on. And this is all sort of, you mentioned this earlier, sort of goofy Dean Ambrose type stuff. He was like, he sort of did the head fake thing, and the guy fell to the ground. At one point, he was tired of him just dancing around, so he's like, here, I'll give you a shot to my face. He tried, he did that, slapped him on the ear, guy went out of the ring. At one point, he offers him his back. Mark Sterling goes flying out of the ring. Wardlow's like, hey, get your shit together, man, get back in there. Let's see here. Oh, so then Mox gets tired of all this because Sterling gives him a poke to the eye. Mox gets annoyed.
Yeah.
Takes him to the outside, throws him under a barricade, throws a bunch of chairs on that, starts beating him up with his own New Balance shoe, which was a funny touch. Gets him back in, paradigm shift, and 3. Immediately after Wardlow attacks, MJF comes down. Surprise, surprise, he doesn't need the neck brace. He doesn't need the walker or whatever. He's fine. Beats up Mox, gets the ring on his finger, knocks him in the head with that as Wardlow holds Mox up. That causes Mox to bleed. MJF is going like crazy with bloodlust, grabs his blood, like rubs it on his face, is like, oh, screaming and stuff. So, yeah, that's how Dynamite concluded tonight.
Yeah, they were really doing all they could to make MJF feel like he could be as violent as Mox.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Kind of feel like that element of it should have. I mean, I don't know. It's one segment. It was a punctuation mark that was built up to. So I don't know. Their match. I think their match is obviously going to be better than like, the Mox versus Hager one.
Oh yeah.
Mox has also had matches against. Darby Allin was one of his title matches.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a really good one because the story was so good there.
Yeah, the Hager one was the snooze fest.
That was sort of the low point, huh? Yeah. This should be a fun match.
Yeah, I think if they'll hopefully tell a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, when you answer some questions.
Yeah, I got a thread up here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Larson, I'm very excited tomorrow, and this is for the $5 and up patrons. It's for the Twitch subs. It's for the YouTube channel members out there. The first of the Rawgate Mutant Absorption series. I'm actually just excited about the intro that I made today.
Oh,
you got to check it out. I think I put it up on the thing. I just have to do the thumbnail for it.
Very good.
Rawgate Mutant is now going through time and space, absorbing the biggest names in the history of pro wrestling. This is pretty shocking stuff. You have to check it out.
Truly.
Exclusive to patrons, Twitch subs, YouTube channel members.
Truly. Ashley is a peach with the sub, and then asked, did they talk about Chuck's facial hair yet? He was letting it grow in.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of the scruff there, doesn't he?
Yeah. Tony here has got a good point. Why doesn't Mox just use the Death Rider?
Because that is a New Japan. Sometimes the Paradigm Shift looks like the Death Rider.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Although I do think that in New Japan he just puts more stank on it. So when he
did it to Sterling tonight, that was definitely a Death Rider because he lifted him up a good amount.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
When he just does double underhook DDT, that's Paradigm Shift. But when he lifts him up a bit, that's more Death Rider status.
I feel like it's either a Dirty Deeds or it's a Death Rider. I feel like the Paradigm Shift is always one of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Paradigm Shift is like whang. The Dirty Deeds is just when he does it real quick.
Yeah.
But they still call it a Paradigm Shift. Anyways, Joe Juarez, what are the odds that Paige and Omega don't break up, but instead become a heel tag team? That'd be I for one, I do not think that FTR is going to win at All Out. I don't think they're going to get those titles. I think that this was their moment. This was their stand tall to try to get these guys on different pages, if you will. And they're going to come together at All Out. And eventually it's going to be Omega and his sort of cleaner attitude thing. Because at the end of being the Elite, the one where they kicked him out from last week's, Kenny put his cleaner glasses back on and they did like a little silly thing. I think he's going to be the guy. It's not going to be an external force. It's going to be an internal force because I know that right now, like, yeah, Kenny's like, oh, where are you at, Hangman? But I think it's going to be more precipitated by Omega and not Hangman's demons.
I think you got to contend with the Young Bucks too, looking for some payback against Paige as well. Muted Mayday, is there a chance Kenny told Hangman to cost the Young Bucks the match last week? If he did, he was playing awfully coy about it.
Ronald Robertson, at the end of being the Elite, Kenny was in his car and you see him. Oh, okay. I just mentioned this here. Yeah, the cleaner could make an appearance at the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Zondo, Taz didn't get the joke, and the conversation went on for like 3 minutes of just the two cracking up. Is that the bust the nut joke? Taz? Oh, no, it was the gum bit. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that you texted that to me. I'm going to check it out after this.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
War Machine MJ says the only reason to watch Dark is just for the commentary. It's great background noise, especially when Taz and Excalibur crack each other up. I know I've seen like a bunch of that stuff, like when Taz was going on about how which like sort of jobber were they calling the Ivy League something or other? Was it Griff? His nickname was like the Ivy League something, and Taz was like, look. I got my degree in education studies, okay? It's Griff. Here are the Ivy League schools out there, all right? And he's like, yeah, the Ivy League MVP. And he's like, Griff Garrison did not go to an Ivy League school. And he went on for like days about it. It's really funny stuff. It's really funny stuff.
It's pretty funny. Shane's birthday tweet, now I want to see Taz, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks all go to Disneyland and have it be documented.
Yeah, I want to see that too. I think it'd be great. Let's see here. Greg Morris, who do you see being the breakout star for the last part of the year in AEW? Who's going to make the biggest impact between now and December 31st?
I hope it's Ricky Starks.
Anywhere he goes, he's going to be huge, and I think you're probably right about that. He's so flipping good, man. That dude's got so much swagger to him.
Jorge D, sorry, he's got a good question. Does AEW need to stop letting some wrestlers improv their promos? With Jake and Taz, terrible segments, Sleepy Omega tonight, and MJF going long all the time, improv is not working.
I don't think it's like such a big problem that you then have to say, hey, Jake, here's a script, or even talk to him about it. I mean, I think it's one of those things where I think they can learn that maybe having him do a promo duel, like a promo off with somebody else, isn't the best idea.
Well, him and Taz don't seem like they have a whole lot of chemistry either.
They don't. If you just get Jake on the mic and have him talk for 5 minutes, it's great. Do more of those video promos. He's amazing. But him like sweat. I mean, he looks so sweaty, and like it's probably so humid in there. It's just not comfortable for him, I would imagine. And he tries to give, I think that Jake just tries to give you the bang for your buck. Like, he tries to get engaged, and if the flow isn't there, then that is what it is. I don't think you need to start doling out scripts to people. I mean, I'm sure they have bullet points, or I'm sure they have a place where they want them to go, but AEW has basically lived on wrestlers being given the ball to run with, and that's how they're successful. So I really don't think it's a change in how they should approach the wrestlers. I think it's a change in how they should be booking these segments.
Yeah. Schnauzer, should AEW turn the FTW championship into a Haas title like the Progress Atlas championship? Do something interesting with it.
Which title? The FTW title? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've said that for weeks. It should be like the BMF title. It should be like who the baddest dude is or whatever. Let's see here. Wolfpack for Life with John Morrison being on one of the latest seasons of Survivors. What superstars would be fun to watch on a reality competition show, and what would they go to? I want to see Big E take his Miz rivalry to Cannonball, and they face off on Cannonball. I think that could be a lot of fun.
That's good. That's a great idea. I can't top that. Zondo, what 4 AEW guys would you want to see in a 4-way Iron Man match for the AEW title? Kenny, Pac, Penta, Ray Phoenix.
It's good. I like it. Fruit de Loop. Triple H remembers when the WWF helped out ECW back in the day and decides it might be a good idea to help out AEW and have a short partnership with them. Who goes to WWE to face who, and who goes to AEW to face who? Well, Cody would have to face Triple H. That would have to happen.
Kenny and AJ.
Maybe.
Then New Day versus the Young Bucks then too.
Yeah, for sure. Who would Roman face? Mox. It'd be Roman Mox. I know you've seen it like a bunch in WWE, but I think that'd be a cool,
or Mox and Seth.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of like top guy versus top guy.
Definitely, yeah. Heel Long Heavy, since it seemingly isn't Paige now, who's the fourth man, brother, in the New Horseman? Assuming it's Spears, is FTR. Who's the main eventer?
You know, it'd be so weird.
Charge.
You know, it'd be so weird if that ended up being Kenny. If it's like Hangman, like somebody said earlier, what if Kenny was like telling Hangman to do that? What if Kenny ended up being the cleaner, but in the Horseman? That'd be it would feel so unnatural. Like, I wouldn't want to see that because it just seems like there'd be zero chemistry there. But they might do something weird like that.
Maybe. Or maybe when Cody comes back, he thinks, well, I got to take on the Dark Order now. I don't have my Nightmare family with me anymore. You know, he turns his back on Arn, joins forces with the FTR and Spears.
So is that 8-man match, is that elimination?
Not that I'm aware of.
That'd be rad if it was, and like the other 3 Dark Order guys got eliminated first, and Brody took out
beats everybody else.
All 4 of them. This is on pay-per-view. Can he curse?
I think so.
I really hope
We're
he
paying
does.
for it.
I hope he does. Silver, what the fuck?
Dr. Steve Winters saying there's some questions on the Discord.
Goo. All right, let me get some of these other patrons one out of the way. Then I'll go to the Discord. Let's see here. Tommy Cat, Back to the Future. AEW's 10th anniversary show. Which will be on the highlight reel? Sean Spears' botched chair shot on Cody or Sammy Guevara's botched shot on Matt Hardy? I think the bigger one... It sort of depends on who's going to have the bigger future, Sean Spears or Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Sammy Guevara, so I'd probably say Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I would think so too. Oh, Dang MQ says for this WB AEW Dream Card, Asuka versus Hikaru Shida would be a good one too. That'd be great.
Hunter V says, if you guys were in a casino battle royal group, what other YouTubers would be in your group?
Oh, that's right. They do like 5 at a time.
Yeah. Oh, well, dude, we got to have Simon Miller in there with us.
Yeah.
Simon Miller's going to be in there.
Brian Zane.
Brian Zane's in there. And then, is Cal Jack on YouTube yet?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube show.
All right, Cal Jack.
Man, formidable.
Dude, that's a crew right there, man. That's a straight-up crew.
Formidable.
Let me go to the Discord. I got Plus Crier stuck in my head again.
Oh, wow.
This happens.
You're not playing at the background, are you?
I know, right? I know, yeah. Oh, it wasn't actually in my head. I was playing it the whole time. My bad. Let's see here. Dr. Steve Winters, taking inspiration from Britt Baker. What other small petty things could generate heel heat, like wasting good pizza? Dumping out some chalk. Don't waste the chalk. Hey, had you ever heard of chocolate milk referenced as chalk? That's the thing now, man.
Never heard that before.
That's great. Let's see here. Joe is cool says, Steve notes say unmotivated camera backstage for the Hager Cassidy interaction, but JR literally set it up. That's not really a question. It's just pointing out that I was wrong about something. Go away, Joe is cool. You're not cool. Schnauzer, does AEW giving their wrestlers a bigger say in their storylines lead to the show feeling all over the place or a mess sometimes? Yeah. If not, what do you think causes it? Yeah, it's totally what it is. But
and Tony Khan's the one that makes it work.
Yeah.
He's probably the one person who oversees it all, you know?
Honestly, dude, it's live or die by the jump shot. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, that's why it works, and that's why it doesn't work when it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
White Brownie wants to know if you're going to redeem my free Steve pizza this weekend.
Maybe. We'll see.
Broke Lesnar, what other AEW side characters like the lawyer should have a match?
Are there any other?
Well, I know. I mean, this is sort of sticking with MJF's crew, but his smiling press secretary.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if she's a wrestler or not.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyways, is that all we got today?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.